Hello one and all, and welcome back to more Let's Play Danganronpa 2. I am the Max Few Trades, and tragically in the last part, we had to ultimately say goodbye to both Gundam and Nekomaru. And with them, two of the last visages of optimism and levity that we had left in our entire ensemble. Right now, we're just kinda rolling with Akane and Gundam, Sonia to a lesser extent. I didn't say Gundam, I meant Kazuichi. I'm still not over his death. My God, it was not a fun time. It was, I am sad. Anyway, that being said, we have no choice. We gotta follow example. We gotta keep walking forward. We gotta stay strong. We gotta figure out what our next move is. Although sadly and unsurprisingly, after apparently coming to some sort of revelation, Nagito has gone absolutely even more nutter butter bananas than he has ever possibly been in the past. And that's an incredibly high bar, I'll have you know. So, taking that all into consideration, he seems to be, plotting something. And that's never a good thing. Because, I don't know if you know this, we're kind of running low on characters. Just like before, our day began with all of us gathering at the restaurant, and I only just realized I didn't bother reading the first part. I read it inside my head, I assure you. There are so few of us left and this sucks. You know, every time we meet up here, it makes me realize just how crazy this whole situation is. It is absolutely insane. Insane. That's right, I created a new word to describe it. The restaurant certainly feels more spacious than before. Yeah, well, yeah, of course it feels spacious. There are less than half of us here now than there were at the beginning, which is an extraordinarily sombering thing to say. I'm sure everybody was already feeling kind of bad right now, Hajime. I don't know if we needed that much of a clear-cut stab into their feels. Yeah, congratulations. You made her feel even more dour. Good job, Hajime.
Stupid fool.
Excusez-moi.
Oh my.
Do you hear something? Well, I know what I thought I heard, but I know that doesn't make any sense, so what?
Hey!
It's Nekomaru. That was Coach Nekomaru's voice.
Huh?
What are you talking about? He's no longer...
What's up?
Hehehe.
I'll beat you up!
What are you laughing about? I'll beat the crap out of you if you keep grossing me out like that. And because that is his lot in life. What exactly did you do? Hey, that's not cool. I was up all night working my fingers to the bone.
I am concerned.
More importantly, I am starting to get tired of the seasonings in this restaurant. Completely blown out of the water, ignored.
Jeez.
Seriously, I'm starting to realize how valuable Teru was. Yeah, don't ignore me. I'm trying to talk to you about something important.
Huh?
All
Important?
right.
This! It took me all night to make it. The heck is that little dude?
My.
Is that a Nekomaru doll?
I'm no doll. I'm Mini Maru.
Holy crap, what? Mini Maru? It took some parts from him to make it. What do you think? Awesome quality, right? Of course, it doesn't have free will or any. Okay, well, admittedly, it certainly seemed that way when it actually answered Sonia. My goodness. All right, well, that went from an extraordinarily large hope spot to a significantly smaller one. Regardless, that was actually really cool of you, Soda. I'm not even gonna pretend. Plus, I'd never heard you disparage Gundam or anything that he did, so yeah. You're a complete and total weirdo, and you have absolutely no tact, and boy howdy are you bad in social situations, and this is all coming from me, but underneath all of that, and I do mean underneath all of that, I think you're a good guy. And I sincerely hope you get better at all of the things you're not so great with. Anyway, so it's more like, you know, a toy. But isn't it freaking adorable?
Are you serious?
Well, we're about to find out how everybody feels. Akane's really the harshest critic out of the group right now, so that's not a great sign.
Thanks.
Oh, it's so cute. Thanks, I'll keep it.
Well.
I never said anything about giving it away. Yeah, okay, but if anybody on this island had the right to actually keep and maintain that thing, it's Akane. I trust her with it.
I'll beat you up!
Don't be so stuck up. Your stuff is my stuff, right?
Whoa.
Hey, well, hey now, that's a bully's logic. It is, yeah, but it comes from a place of true logic. Just because those two overlap doesn't mean anything.
Man.
Well, it doesn't matter. I made this to cheer you guys up anyway. And as long as we have it, we won't forget, you know? about Nekomaru's sacrifice for us. We're standing here today because of him and Gundam, but I'll take that. I'll take the idea that you're not gonna insult him as kudos. You're not praising him by any stretch. I mean, yeah, he still did a bad thing, but still, regardless of that. So if we're gonna prevent something like that from ever happening again,
Engines revving.
I guess we gotta fight too, right? We just can't keep running away. Gotta admit, I never thought I'd hear you say something that awesome. Ha! Yeah, of course. In the end, Gundam told us to never give up on life. So I will never give up. I shall fight until the very end. Honorable, Gundam, please watch over me.
Miss Sonia?
Soda, come on, you finally made some progress. Why you gotta backpedal so hard? What do you think of my pep talk?
Oh my.
Oh, did you say something? Okay, dude, it doesn't matter what kind of character development you could conceivably go through. It ain't gonna happen.
Are you kidding me?
I was up all night memorizing that speech.
Jeez.
And there's the punchline. Haha, you thought he was going to say and do something cool. You're wrong. Once again, it was a failed attempt to impress Sonia. I really like this. Thanks, Kazuichi.
I am Mini-Maru.
I mean, come on. Akane's really happy. That's good.
Man.
I'm only half as happy to be thanked by you. All right, come on now. Don't make me get legitimately offended by you, dude, okay? That's not cool. Akane's thanks are just as good as anyone's, if not slightly more so shut your face.
That's right.
Oh, by the way, you can also use that to massage your sore muscles and pressure points. Why the hell did you design it to do that?
You serious?
Are you serious? That's amazing.
Of course.
I made it after all. That is a ridiculously random thing to give him, but okay, sure. If Akane's happy, I shall be happy. Seriously, thanks. I'll take good care of it. Akane looks really happy, and that makes me happy.
Hey.
Anyway, what happened to Nagito? I haven't seen him like I usually do. Yeah, on most occasions, I'd say that wasn't really a problem because I'm cool with not having to see him, but he seems to be going on the path of supervillainy, so you don't have to worry about that guy. He goes solo all the friggin' time.
Well.
But still, I'm a little worried about how he was acting during the last class trial. What with his, sudden shift into pure vindictiveness. Well, he's always been a dangerous guy, but he crossed the line, I feel like he first crossed the line when he actively made an attempt to murder somebody at that party way back when. This is just a second line that he somehow managed to find, draw, and step over at the same time. If anything, it's impressive.
Hey.
And that's even more reason we should avoid him.
But still.
But even if we do avoid him, what are we going to do if he approaches us? Nagito's sudden change was really weird. I wonder, did he figure something out that we're not aware of?
Now then.
Anyway, Hajime, isn't it about time you told us what that was all about? Huh? That? What Nagito said during the trial. Oh, you still don't realize it. Jeez, get it together. You're supposed to be the symbols of hope, aren't you? I forgot, except for Hajime, of course.
Hey, bastard.
What did he mean by, except for Hajime? Are you really the traitor after all? Oh, crap. I just suddenly dawned on me that that's what that could end up sounding like. No, it's not like that. I didn't really want to say it, but I guess I have no choice. To tell you guys the truth, unlike the rest of you, well, apparently I was never part of Hope's Peak Academy's primary department. I'm a reserve corps student from the reserve department.
Huh?
Reserve department? It means, unlike you guys, I don't have an ultimate talent at all. Apparently, I'm just a normal person. Is that all? Am I to take it you don't mind? What? That's it? Dude, don't ever scare me like that. Why is the ominous music still playing? That's actually a really heartfelt sentiment. I don't think any of the guys around these parts actually give a damn about that, Hajime. Feel like that should reassure you a little, wouldn't it? It's not something that I can just brush off, especially since it's about me. I thought I just forgot. I thought I got into Hope's Peak Academy because I had talent all along. But, whoa, okay. Okay, apparently Hajime is very seriously bothered by this. My whole life, I've just wanted to feel confident about myself. And I thought getting into Hope's Peak Academy meant I'd finally become someone I could be proud of. Okay, all right. Whoa. My mistake? for what it's worth, I retract my statements. I apologize. I legitimately did not realize how badly this would really rattle him. Okay, well, I'm not going to say someone's pain is not, you know, is not any less than what they feel it is. Just to, you know, go about it on your own terms, man. Legit. I'm sorry. But I feel like you should be able to take at least a little bit of solace in the fact that I legitimately believe I think you've made friends here and that they don't care. I mean, that's got to count for at least a little something, huh?
Right?
Cheer up, Hajime. It doesn't matter if you're from the reserve department.
Of course.
She is right. No matter what, you are our friend. You know, there is a saying in Japan.
Listen.
Fear is grateful for the danger. I'm 98% certain you said that because I've never heard of that.
Hey,
The hell? You're saying that all wrong. Why do you sometimes get covered in blood? You have no blood. You are a robot stuffed animal. Huff, puff, wheeze. So everyone was here. It was a real close battle.
I am sorry.
I apologize. I was trying to cheer you up, but I ended up saying the wrong thing. Ignored. Sonia is a master at just ignoring the things she'd rather not deal with. But not like a self-destructive sort of way. It's just like, I don't really want to deal with that, so I'm gonna pretend it's not happening. Well, it doesn't matter. Stuff is just hard to say sometimes. Hey, that's weird. Maybe you can't see me?
Huh?
Whoa, what the heck? You're covered in blood. Ah, you saw me. Yes, that's right. The mono beast this time was very strong. Gross! Don't get close to me. Get out of here. No gratitude. I'm being treated like filth.
Hey, hey.
Hey, but why don't you clean that blood off? We're trying to eat. It's wicked gross. Yes, I'm ashamed of myself. Wipe, wipe. Wipe, wipe. I feel like it would be significantly harder to get bloodstains out of a white fabric, but whatever. As far as I know, you jumped into a new body ASAP, like all super fast like. Who knows? There we go. Now then, allow me to report to you all once again. After a fierce battle that's never been seen in history, I finally succeeded in conquering the last mono beast. Because of this, it's finally possible for you to travel to the final island. I see. What a thin reaction. It's like I'm surrounded by tons of shabu shabu from an all-you-can-eat restaurant. All right, well, now it's time for a fun little game called Let's Google What the Heck That's All About, because that's far too specific of a statement for me to not at least get something vaguely resembling context. Shabu shabu is a Japanese nambamano hot pot dish of the thinly sliced meat and vegetables boiled in water and served with dipping sauces. Okay, that would explain some things, a thin reaction. That makes sense in some capacity. Still kind of random, but there you go. Don't tell me this again. You're gonna say stuff like, it's not like we can get off this island. Why bother going to the new island? Well, it's true that I don't really expect much.
don't misunderstand.
But who said we weren't gonna go? Obviously, we're gonna go, dumbass. Weh?
So,
Assuming we were thinking about running away was a mistake.
I'll show you my serious side.
Because if we can't run, we'll fight. I'll crush everyone who put us through this crap in one blow. I mean, I feel like her resolve has sort of been renewed and refreshed. And with a few more, you know, practical experiences under her belt, I feel like she's capable of doing a little bit more than before. I trust Akane when it comes to a fight.
Hey,
Fight? Seriously? That fearsome group is called World Ender for a reason, you know?
what are you saying?
Hey, you. Did you forget what you just said earlier?
Hey.
Dumbass, I only said that because I was trying to impress Miss Sonia. I don't actually have any bravery or conviction in my body. I'm just kind of faking it in the hopes of being able to impress somebody.
What?
Don't brag about that.
Settle down.
So she has commanded. If you have the power to fight among yourselves, then direct that power toward our enemy.
All right.
Now then, let's go forth. Offense is the best defense. Personally, I always found defense to be the best defense, but I understand the phrase you're using, and at least you're using it correctly, so I'll give you kudos for that.
Damn right.
You're right. Now's not the time for us to be bickering. I know we've kind of gone through it already, but seriously. Fuyahiko and character development. My goodness. I don't really get it, but when Miss Sonia talks like that, my blood starts to boil. In a good way, I guess. All right, I'm getting pumped up. Let's charge our way to that new island.
Starting to get pumped
The
up.
Future Foundation, Monokuma, Monami, I'll crush them all at once. I mean, one-on-one you had a bit of trouble, but at the same time, I mean, if we have a bit of a more of a united front, Let's see. As far as pure combat is concerned, I'm not entirely sure what Fuyuhiko is capable of, but he is still a Yakuza, so he's got to have some degree of combat capabilities on his side. Sonia seems pretty good when it comes to... I mean, she has a bizarre level of know-how when it comes to weird stuff like this, so that's possible. And Kazuichi can't fight, but he's a good mechanic. That's, no matter how you shake a stick at it, that's an incredibly useful ability to have. Even me? Yes, mon ami, nobody actually trusts or believes in anything you do or say. You guys seem reliable. Hey, don't talk like you're not included. You're our friend too, you know. You're right.
Leave it to me.
Then I gotta do my best too.
You guys wonder if we're gonna get another free time event before everything goes down, or I guess we'll find out.
As we left the restaurant, the expressions on our face were clearly different than they were before. They were filled with strong will and determination. Armed with that, we began walking toward the last island. But the clouds in my heart still lingered. I couldn't stop thinking about the reserve department. Come on, dude. I don't want to detract from it or anything, but I mean... I don't know. I feel like you've proven to be pretty good at a couple things since you got thrown into this situation. If absolutely nothing else, I feel like you've come to more deductive sort of conclusions and figured things out a bit easier than I think even maybe Makoto did. I mean, he definitely did a lot of work, but at the same time, I feel like Kyoko and Byakuya definitely kind of did a lot of heavy lifting when, you know, one of them wasn't sabotaging everything. So... Granted, you had Nagito doing a lot of stuff here, but still, I think in Chiaki, it's a similar situation, but I think Hajime might have come up with a little bit more on his own than Makoto did. So that's not for nothing. And that filled me with this strange, uncomfortable feeling, like a small bone was lodged in my throat. But I tried not to think about it. I tried to stay focused on moving forward. Gotta look at the here and now, people. Oh, well, that's certainly an ominous thing right there. Smile at hope in the name of despair. I don't like the name of this chapter. That implies some serious stuff's about to go down. Well, then again, if this chapter 5 is anything like the past chapter 5, oh, we're in for some trouble. Ugh, oh boy. With the Mono Beast gone, we crossed the fifth bridge and arrived at the final island. We're just cutting straight to it, huh?
So this
Whoa.
is the last island.
Yeah, it's definitely got that sort of ambience about it, don't it? Enormous buildings towered everywhere, as if the entire island were one gigantic city. It felt very sci-fi, as though the island was a snapshot of an urban metropolis from the near future.
Fitting of a final island.
There you go, I even used the same term. There we go, see, Hajime? We're not one-to-one, but we've got a similar wavelength going on here. So don't worry about it. Oh, then again, gigantic monitors with Monokuma talking on them is never a phenomenal thing to see. Oh dear. All right, well, I'd very much like to take a quick look at my gorilla. The gorilla seems to be content. Gorimi.
Gorimi!
You mind walking around a little bit? Thank you. You were just kind of staring at me, and it made me more than a little uncomfortable. And you're scratching your head. I'd like to actually, you know, fully advance this gorilla to its maximum capabilities. That's a weird statement to say, but it's technically what I'm talking about here. Anyway, a vendor street. All right, so like foods and stuff. It'd be probably where Akane would probably wander off to. Ah! Okay, well, first of all, Fuyuhiko is here. That's not actually what I was expecting. Also, are you meant to be a hidden Monokuma? Because I'm gonna be honest, you're most certainly not. Okay, apparently.
No.
That's dangerously close to being a Monokuma wielding a power glove. Thankfully, it's not the case, because that thing was a pile of garbo. Anyway, I suppose I should take a quick look. Oh, wow, like, there's nothing around here to look at except for Fuyu, huh? All right. What say you? I was wondering who was lured here by the smell. I expected Akane, though, not you. Yeah, ditto. Where is she? I wasn't lured by the smell or anything. This game isn't in smell-o-vision. And quite frankly, let's all be thankful for that fact, because there's quite a few things I'd rather have not have smelled that have happened in this game.
Anyway.
Looks like this street is full of food vendors. As you can see, there's no customers or staff. Only the food is here. That is the case. Normally a street like this would be bustling with activity, but there's no one here. It's actually pretty creepy to think about. More than a little. I mean, empty cities are already kind of bizarre in their own way, but really, when you're in an area that when you go to it, you expect to basically have some sort of activity going on at it at all times, like a vendor or something like that. Seeing that completely abandoned, that's definitely a little more creepy than before. All right, so I can think of about 1,000,000 things I'd rather do than go into a building that looks like that. But I guess we don't really have much of a choice now, do we? Oh dear. Alrighty. What exactly is happening now? It's Chiaki, that's a good sign. She's a source of comfort. White smoke is billowing from the building in the back. It's some kind of factory. Either that or they found the new pope. I think that's what white smoke billowing means. Or is that when the smoke turns into a darker color? I don't remember. It's been a long time since that sort of thing has happened. But if it's got Monokuma's face on it, I'm sure it's a shady factory anyway.
Hajime.
Hajime, good timing. What's up, Chiaki?
See?
This building clearly looks suspicious, right? Yeah, even more so than most of the things we've run into. I was thinking it might be good if I thoroughly look around inside, but
Well?
since it clearly looks suspicious, I thought it'd be dangerous to go alone. Then, do you want to go inside together? I mean, Hajime's not good for much in a fight, but I mean, it's a good moral support. She ponders on whether or not that was a good call. Surprised you didn't say okay. Why are you hesitating? Perhaps she does not have faith in ye. Honestly, I don't think that's true. I think Chiaki actually has a fairly decent amount of faith in Hajime, all things considered. All right then, I'm going inside. Chiaki may not be great at expressing herself, but her actions have spoken rather loudly. Oh, delightful. A Monokuma factory. That's definitely the type of thing you want to run into. What the heck is this? What was being manufactured one after the other and being carried away on a conveyor belt was a truly insane amount of Monokuma. Also, wow, it takes an entire friggin' tree? That just seems absurd. Well, I mean, okay, I guess. I'm not saying I'm caught off unawares by the depravity of what Monokuma is capable of. Obviously, this is the type of thing you do. The conveyor belt is endlessly moving through this enormous machine. The coconut tree carried by the conveyor belt is processed and eventually made into this stupid thing. That it most certainly is. So I couldn't help but notice when I looked at the giant pile of Monokuma. Would this one that's sticking out conspicuously be a hidden Monokuma? It seems like it is. That's not even hidden!
I've been found.
Hidden in the sense that it's in plain sight, I guess. I don't buy that nonsense. The Monokumas are being tossed into this gigantic basket, one after the other. They better not be real. I picked one up with my hands. See, so these are plushies. Isn't that basically what Monokuma is anyway? I mean, there's some robotic parts in there, but essentially, he's essentially a plush. Monokuma plushies. The real Monokuma is sort of like a plushie too. But unlike him, these are probably actual plushies. Actual plushies. Humph! Isn't the resemblance uncanny? Yeah, it's almost like they just reused the asset. They're my life-size plushies. Life-size plushies? What do you think that would be, like 3 feet tall? Roughly-ish? I'm not entirely sure. I was planning to hit the big time with these. That's why I'm making them like crazy. Har har har, I'm gonna be rich. Quite personally, I feel like you would really only be able to sell these things to Danganronpa fans. And I just don't see you really being able to make that much of a profit off of them alone. As a limited time event for the people that actually would want one, sure, but I don't think you're actually gonna be able to sell this many. You've made way too many. You're gonna be overstocked when it's all said and done. That's just bad business practice. Monokuma's life-size plushie. I don't want it. Quite frankly, despite the fact that I enjoy this series as much as I do, I don't think I'd want one either. Too many bad memories and creepy, ominous auras would be emanating from it. No interest. No interest, really. I'd rather have a figurine of one of the characters. That isn't him, personally. I see. So this place is for manufacturing life-sized Monokuma plushies. What kind of messed up place is this? Don't look down on me. Do you really think it's just for life-size plushies? I mean, it could very well possibly be. You're a very weird and confusing creature. There's a lot more Monokuma merch in the goods warehouse next door. You don't say. What should we do? Honestly, I really don't feel like going.
But still.
But what if there's some kind of important clue? What are you gonna do? Well, obviously I have no choice. We gotta walk around and inspect everything at least once. You're right, and we should go there for just a little while. All right, well, hang on. Let me take a quick look around to see if there's anything. Actually, yeah, I already looked at this, but life-size Monokuma plushies are being tossed into an enormous basket. What's it making so many of these? I don't want one, right? I shouldn't want one, right? And yet I'm strangely drawn to them. Probably best to not overanalyze that too much. Ooh, oh, right. I guess this would probably be the door. Looks like the break room is on the other side of this door. Sounds like a place for housewives to gossip, but doesn't really seem like there's anyone at this factory. Hajime. Not for nothing, my dude, but I feel like the odds of some housewives being in the break room of a factory constructing plushes is exactly going to be full of housewives gossiping. And it's just an educated hunch on my end, if I'm being honest. But, whatever. Alright, so if that's not the door leading to what I need to see, then I guess it must be this over here. Alright, let's inspect. What kind of horrifying merchandises will we be finding in here? Cardboard standees, that makes sense. Without thinking, I peeked into the piled up stack of cardboard boxes. Rustle, rustle. There's a Monokuma calendar, don't want that. A Monokuma sandbag. You think you could punch it? That'd be pretty cool. That has some level of temptingness. And even a Monokuma guitar. That's a ridiculously specific item. I don't think there's gonna be that many people that would want one of those. First, there was the Monokuma archive and the funhouse. That was a plushie factory and all these goods. How full of himself is he? Well, I mean, the only thing anybody can be full of themselves is of course, themselves. Their bits and parts are all that they are. Of course they're full of themselves. But if you mean Monokuma is actually super conceited, then yeah, the answer to that one is hella sorta mega times. Mascot popularity doesn't last forever. I gotta earn the big bucks while I can. A mascot that isn't popular anymore is like a piece of candy without any sugar. In other words, it has no reason for existing. Well, personally, I actually don't find that entirely true. There are some sugarless candies that are fairly enjoyable. I understand that's not a popular opinion, but it is a factual one. He's starting to talk even crazier. And that's really impressive for someone like him. All right, whoa, okay. Excuse me. The camera in this place is really weird and hard to control, actually. It doesn't work the way that it does in other buildings. There's a bunch of books stacked up high. What in the world are these? Monokuma's poetry collection. Oh dear God. I don't want to read poetry on a good day. Why the hell would I want to read any of the stuff that he makes? That's stupid. Who the hell's gonna read this crap?
Hey.
There's another book here too. Let's see. Monokuma's Most Precious Moments.
See?
That's the actual title of this book, but it's a collection of nude photos. Isn't Monokuma always nude? Monokuma is already naked.
Yep.
I know. Y'all got a strange sense of humor, but I enjoy your company, Chiaki. It is appreciated. All right, let's see. What else are we looking at? I guess we got more boxes, random goods. A bunch of cardboard boxes stacked on top of each other. There are various goods inside them. There are even household appliances and musical instruments. They're probably used for packaging goods before they're shipped. The only piece of merchandise that has Monokuma's visage on it that I would actually want, I'd actually like to have like a poster or something. I mean, I guess ideally of like, you know, each individual, you know, game so that I have like as many of the characters as possible. Monokuma would obviously feature on those, but you know, I wouldn't be getting it because it has him on it. Looks like they're waiting to be shipped, but I don't think these are ever gonna leave the island. Seems very, very, very likely if we're being real. This looks like a Monokuma panel. Why so many? Not that many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, roughly about 8 of them. I was thinking about using these to decorate the stores that sell my merch and make them all look all boom. Then they'd stand out, you know? No store would sell your stuff. In the real world, perhaps there would be a bit of a niche market for it. But in universe? Well, then again, actually, for an entirely separate reason, I don't think anybody would sell or buy this stuff, what with the whole, what I know of the outside world in this universe. Admittedly, I never actually got to see it for myself, so what the villain at the end of the first game said could conceivably have been a lie and the world is completely fine. but I'm gonna err on the side of caution and go with the idea that no, it really is just absolutely insanity out there.
You're so
Of course not.
stupid.
You're such a fool. That's why I'll open an official Monokuma shop. I'm thinking about opening chains all over the world. You think we are the M&M store? Do you have any idea how incredibly hard it is to actually maintain a single novelty shop of that kind of exclusivity? Seriously, and you want to open multiples? You're the worst business bear I think I've ever bore witness to. Of course, the main attraction will be my life-sized Monokuma plushies, which will probably come to life and murder people when they sleep. Can't believe you thought that far into the future when you made these. Your business is doomed to fail. Enough already! You have no business sense anyway, so just stop it.
No.
Hey, don't say that. Let's do our best together. We'll be as popular as Pogs were in the 90s. Okay, I think the joke there is the fact that Pogs were more popular in the 80s and actually died out in the 90s. I believe. You'll have to forgive me, I was born in 93. By the time I was fully cognitive of the world around me, it was like 1998 or 9. So I don't have exactly an encyclopedic knowledge about Pogs. I do know that they were originally milk caps that kids would play with, and eventually that kind of escalated to the point where specialty Pogs were made. And then many years down the line, the term Pog got transformed by the internet into some sort of, I don't know, lingo version to designate cool? Quite frankly, I don't understand why and how the words of the internet work the way they do, and I try not to subscribe to them in any sort of capacity. Admittedly, I do take on some of them. I have been known to yeet a thing or two, but aside from that, quite honestly, I find most of it to be kind of forced and stupid. Don't you remember how long those stayed popular? I stayed on that tangent a little too long. Besides, if you're serious about opening a business, you've already committed a major mistake. Because there's no merch of me! So you're saying you're also a bit conceited, huh?
My little sister.
Quite frankly, I could see some Monokuma merch being sold by the people that care about the series. And sure, I'm sure there are a few people that would want some Monami merch on top of that, but I feel like it would be drastically less than Monokuma. So you're looking to appeal to a niche market here. Oh, Monami, my little sister. Don't you know the Aesop's fable about the rabbit and the bear? Almost positive that's not a real one. Not a tortoise.
Hey.
A long, long time ago, there were these two old guys. Two old guys living together? Well, damn, Monami, why are you judging? Good lord. I was not expecting that kind of vitriol from you of all people. The old guys thought, rabbits aren't as popular as bears. The end. I'd say that's actually debatable. On the grand scheme of plushes, I mean, yeah, I dare say teddy bears have outsold plush rabbits by a fair margin, but in general, over the existence of everything? I don't know. I like bears. They're pretty freaking awesome. But rabbits have a universal appeal that can't be denied. Did you even need the old guys in that story? It's called world building, Monami. Sheesh.
In other words.
So even if I made merch of you, it's pointless. A half-pink rabbit is so lame. You don't even have 1 ounce of good fashion sense. Didn't you recreate her in your own vision? You did this to me. You're the one who has no fashion sense. All right, well, at least this is a reference that I do understand right from the get-go. Fair enough, I suppose.
What a hopeless way of snapping back.
I mean, yeah, you basically, whenever Monokuma has gotten sassed back in a way that he can't really counter, he just kind of violently hits you. But honestly, I can't help but feel like I might have made too many panels.
Special bleeding service.
So whoever wants to decorate the room, please do it as much as you like. Absolutely not.
Here.
Come on, what are you waiting for? Hajime, let's run. You're right. Being thrown into a absolutely insane and twisted killing game is one thing, but trying to hawk your cheap and garbage merchandise on us, that's just something we can't abide. We ran out of the warehouse, narrowly avoiding Monokuma's plan for inventory disposal. A fate worse than death, perhaps. Shilling Monokuma goods. Ugh. It's like you just got tired. Yeah, you're right. Well, I don't know if we really found anything on the verge of like a clue or anything, but we definitely did something. She's sleepy again! There are never any hints at obviously suspicious places. Anyone who looks obviously suspicious isn't the killer.
Yep.
That's usually the norm. Well, that is true, but sometimes you gotta take into account that the only reason that that sort of subdiversion of that expectation exists at all is because originally the suspicious person was, in fact, most often the person that did it. You know, kind of like, you know, the evil queen from Snow White and stuff like that. It's like, oh, that person's real suspicious looking. Then he usually ends up being the bad guy. So they had to start subverting that and started making the creepy or suspicious looking dudes and gals out there not the villains in order to, you know, throw people off the trail. But now even that has become so freakishly, you know, ubiquitous that now it's actually kind of surprising when the creepy thing is actually the creepy thing. And so it's kind of gone full circle if we're being real. Let's see. I should probably actually check to see if that gorilla pooped. That's another sentence. Also, a military base. Okay, so hang on. The first thing was food stalls. The second thing was a factory for making plushies. The third one is a military base. This island doesn't seem to really have much of a cohesive theme, and I knew there'd be poop!
Goddamn gorillas pooping all over the place.
All right, so who haven't we run into? Yeah, that would be Kazuichi, Akane, and Sonia. Kazuichi would probably be here, wouldn't he? Or I guess he wouldn't, and Sonia and Akane would be. Whatever. Huh? That thing over there. Is that a tank? Is it real? Well, all the planes in the previous place weren't real, so I assume not. Not just that. There's a lot of other stuff here that looks really dangerous. More than a little. Oh, suddenly another Monokuma. All right. These hidden Monokumas seem suspiciously unhidden.
I knew you could do it.
Like out of all the Monokumas, I feel like these have been the easiest ones to find. All right, well, let's take a quick look at everything before we talk to people. Is this a military truck? Unlike the airplane at the first island, this looks like it actually has an engine inside. But I don't even know how to drive. It's really not as complicated as you think. I mean, it's possible it could be a stick shift, but even then, you can eventually jury-rig your way into being able to figure it out. Honestly, it just takes a little bit of practice. Besides, it's not like I can escape this island by driving off of it. True, but I mean, it would still be pretty dope and definitely make moving about the place a whole lot faster. I may not be a car guy, but I'm well aware of the efficiency that it provides. It's a military truck. There's something in the cargo box. Firearms. There's a ton of them. There's a lot of different weapons, like guns and anti-tank rockets, carelessly stacked in here. Is it really all right to handle these carelessly? It's Monokuma. The idea that you would expect anything other of him would be kind of silly. All right, well, might as well take a look at the tank. This is a tank, right? Is it real? Can it move? I can't say that I truly know. All right, well, I suppose I guess we'll just talk. Sonia, what precisely are you here for? This appears to be a military base. Is that so? Despite the fact that this island is quite small, the military technology here seems rather extensive. And now I'm left to wonder just what your military presence is in the Nova Celica Kingdom.
All right.
These might prove useful when the time comes to combat the Future Foundation. Useful? There's no way we'd be able to operate stuff like tanks and heavy weapons. Well, heavy weapons is easy. As long as you're physically capable of being able to lift it, you just have to, you know, pull the trigger 9 times out of 10. Granted, reloading it can be a bit more complicated, but you can get the hang of it pretty fast. And as far as tanks are concerned, it's sort of like a car. I've never driven a tank, so maybe it's more complicated than I'm making it out to be. But honestly, considering the type of fiction that we're in, I could honestly see Kazuichi or Chiaki being able to handle this situation. They could probably figure it out. There's lots of media that shows that sort of thing where gamers are able to inexplicably operate stuff like that.
Huh?
Really? In my country, even a child in grade school can operate a tank no problemo. No problemo? And now I'm left to wonder if Hajime is left aghast by the fact that children know how to drive tanks in her kingdom, or the fact that she used the term problemo. A course in modern warfare is a required class in all our grade schools. Your kingdom sounds next level wacky, and I kind of want to see it. An obsession with anime and now this? Sony's country never ceases to baffle me.
However,
I mean, an obsession with anime is not that odd of a thing for really any developed nation. However, weapons are only weapons when humans start to use them.
I am concerned.
If no one uses them, they are nothing more than scrap metal. You're right. Unfortunately, this stuff in the base probably won't be useful to us.
Please wait.
No, that is definitely wrong. Eh.
Um,
Well, I have discovered a puzzling document in the tank operator's seat, because of course she climbed into it. That's the Future Foundation's insignia. A development plan. Jabberwock Island development plan. What is this?
However,
And I assume it belongs to Monokuma, and it was placed rather ostentatiously. So he definitely planted it there for the sole purposes of us finding it. Also, he definitely wouldn't have left all this stuff out if it was actually operational, or if it posed anything resembling a threat to him. I do not know how much we can trust it. Do you think it could be a useful clue? Monokuma probably did leave it. Like you said, it's hard to know how much we can trust it. So what does it say? Beyond what is written here, I do not know much.
what?
But it does document Jabberwock Island's redevelopment plan at a considerable length. What is that plan? To place Jabberwock Island under the Future Foundation's control and prepare it as a central headquarters. A central headquarters for the Future Foundation? I thought Jabberwock Island was a tourist destination. Why would the Future Foundation be interested in it? In actuality, there was something written in here that caught my attention. The travel agency that managed Jabberwock Island went bankrupt, so the island was uninhabited for a long time. Because of that, the island was unaffected by the incident, which allowed them to easily gain a foothold. Alright, well the characters aren't gonna know anything about the incident, but that's interesting. Wait, hold on. This place was uninhabited for a long time? If that's true, the maintenance here has been way too attentive. The items at the supermarket are always stocked, and the hotel is still really clean. Could that the Future Foundation's responsibility? Hajime, I can't help but notice that almost all of the grammatical errors I've run across in this game have come from you solely. I'm beginning to wonder if it's deliberate or not at this point. More importantly, what's the incident? What does it mean that the island was unaffected by it? I cannot discern that from this passage alone. Simply reading this will not help me grasp what those words mean.
Well,
However, there is one more thing that caught my attention. There's more? Do you remember the guidebook to Jabberwock Island in the library? Indeed I do, as a matter of fact. It was written there that the central island houses a large administrative building. However, we could not find that building anywhere. We even commented on how strange that was, right? Last I checked, yes.
however,
But according to this plan, the building that the Future Foundation is planning to use for their headquarters, could it be that same building? They are planning to rebuild it and use it as the Future Foundation's headquarters, or so it is written, therefore it shall be told. What the heck? It's so inconsistent. How do you rebuild a building that doesn't even exist? Damn it, what the hell's going on?
perhaps.
We're so distracted by all of the horrible situations that kept happening one after the other, we might have overlooked a more pressing issue. Yeah, like why we were here in the first place and what the hell's going on everywhere else in the world. I mean, these kids have no idea. And, I mean, I assume that the evidence that we've been given implies that this is taking place after the first game, so, yeah. That is the mystery of this island. What's really going on? The mystery doesn't make any sense. No matter how much we think about it, there's no reason behind it. You're not wrong. Also, just realized there's a giant honking helicopter. We can take a look at that after we check it on Akane. Akane, how you doing? Man, this place is boring. Boring? What are you talking about? There's a tank here.
You.
Eh? I like strong dudes. Weapons don't excite me at all.
Obviously.
A real man fights with his fists. While I have to chime in and say ultimately that all forms of combat have a certain degree of awesomeness to it, I can concede that fist fighting is probably one of the cooler ones. But ultimately, eventually, fists can only do so much. Unfortunately, the escalation of combat in the world has kind of made it almost quaint in comparison. That goes for women, too. You want to battle a little? If you win, you can, okay, well, Interesting offer. No thanks. Let the record show Hajime's response is his own. Moving on. And taking a look at this here helicopter and ignoring that entirely. This helicopter! That wouldn't win anyway. Isn't this helicopter Monokuma used to execute Teruteru? Oh, wow. You'll have to forgive me. I was kind of in a panicked crying fit at the time, so I didn't actually remember what the helicopter looked like. This helicopter, don't screw with me! Hajime, did you just punch a helicopter? Ow. Hajime, what happened? It's nothing. I'm fine. I couldn't help punching it, but I just ended up hurting my fist. Damn Damn it, I'm so weak. Well, first and foremost, I gotta say, I don't really think it matters how strong you are. I'm pretty sure punching a helicopter was never going to result in anything other than hurting your own fist. That being said, I bet if you asked Akane, she'd be willing to train with you. I doubt she'd have a very cohesive, you know, regimen, and we probably would be wildly unfocused and kind of nutty. But if it comes to pure strength building, I imagine she could probably do that sort of thing for you. Be a good excuse to hang out with her more. That's all I'm saying. All right, so food stalls, plushie factory, military base. We still haven't run into Kazuichi anywhere, so... Oh, Seaking Industries? We talking like Aquaman or something? Also, how close are you to finishing your growth? I want to be able to at least say I've got the gorilla finished and done with. I doubt I'd be able to raise up an entire other pet after this, but I'd like to at least get that one done. Whoa! Well, this is certainly an interesting situation. There's a bunch of strange machines lined up in all directions. It feels very sci-fi. Yo, Soda, what up? Seaking Industries. Huh? They're a company that specializes in manufacturing electrical insulation and other machine parts. They're a mid-sized company with only 100 employees, but they're the biggest corporation on Jabberwock Island. And this place looks like a research facility. It also looks like where they might have been building mono beasts. For a mid-sized company, this is a pretty nice facility. I guess so. You only read about them in a pamphlet next to the reception desk, because that's something you'd do, I guess. Besides, the size of the company isn't the issue here.
What's going on?
This company obviously doesn't make machine parts. Just what the heck are they making here? Well, like I said, it looks like mono beasts. Also, don't think I don't see that Monokuma in the corner there. He's right. It's like they're making something more dangerous. Seems like it might be a good idea to thoroughly investigate this place. Yeah, first and foremost, I got myself a Monokuma to grab. Not that I want them. And I've already definitely lost any opportunity to actually collect all of these things. But, you know, that doesn't mean I'm just gonna flat out give up. All right, taking a look. We've got what looks to be some kind of robot device. Oh yes, that appears to be building some kind of android. It also appears to be a female android. That's odd. The general construction of this being is somewhat concerning. This automated machine looks like it's making something. Is that a mannequin? Mannequins do not have that degree of technology imposed upon them. That is an android.
Maybe...
It's a humanoid machine. Is that a robot?
You serious?
Seriously? How could they make robots? I mean, we did just have that whole experience with Nekomaru turning into a robot. Even if it was more of a cyborg than anything else, the fact remains, that shouldn't be too surprising. Just how far did technology advance without me knowing? Do you think Nekomaru was made here?
That was close.
It's a similar humanoid robot. It's possible, maybe. But why would a company that manufactures machine parts have access to this kind of technology? I don't know. Maybe this place is somehow connected to the Future Foundation too? I don't see their insignia or mark anywhere. And there's the fact that what appears to be a giant hulking mono beast over there. I feel like this is definitely more just sort of a building commandeered by Monokuma to do stuff. This machine is making another machine? Machines that build more machines so they can also build machines? There's a lot of movies and books explaining how this is a bad idea. The finished product looks like it's modeled after a four-legged animal. Make the connection already. Hey, doesn't that animal-looking machine remind you of anything? Are you talking about the mono beasts?
Maybe...
Is there any chance that those mono beasts were created here? The mono beasts were created here. Well, it would certainly stand to reason.
Fine.
Yep, that's what this place is for. No matter how much you insist it's a game, people won't be convinced if a place like this doesn't exist, right?
Bye-bye.
That's why it's just fine.
There's something wrong with you.
Was what he basically just said paramount to saying, yeah, so even though if you tell people it's just a video game, don't worry about it, you're still gonna get people complaining. They're like, well, where did those things come from? Where were they made? So they threw this building into the game specifically to quell that exact specific thing and nothing else. If so, that's kind of clever, but also a little frustrating too. What the hell did he mean by that? Doesn't make any sense at all. Doesn't matter who's convinced, because I'll never be convinced.
What's going on?
I mean, this place is for manufacturing machine parts. Why are they able to create such dangerous robots in a place like this? Does this mean Monokuma took over this place and modified it to do this? Damn it, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. All right, well, let's talk to you directly now. You doing okay there, Soda? Doing okay over there, 7-Up? Okay, well, you seem to be giggling wildly to yourself. That's mildly concerning. Hey, Kazuichi, get a hold of yourself. Huh? Why? Why? Because you just started laughing all of a sudden. Well, obviously, what else am I gonna do except laugh? I mean, it's just so childish. What are you talking about?
Hey.
Well, there's a computer over there, so I started snooping around to see if I could find any clues. Whoever was using this computer must have been sending emails to his buddy or something. He was probably trying to write a manga or something. He sent one of his story ideas to his buddy. It was such a horrible, delusional story. I was so embarrassed to read it that it gave me goosebumps. Delusional story? What was written in the email? Well, I'll start with the idea for the story. Apparently, global riots are occurring in various regions around the world. Ah, so you've definitely read about the actual, the event, as it were. And these riots were caused by high school students. I mean, seriously? That's not realistic at all. Unless, of course, they were ultimates, in which case they had superhuman abilities that could definitely facilitate such a thing.
Yeah.
So these riots just keep growing as people grow more and more dissatisfied and frustrated with society. Until eventually, it spreads like an infectious disease all over the world. Footage of the riots start getting circulated, and strange incidents start occurring one after another. Hopeless anxiety instantly spreads throughout the world as the end of the world gets closer and closer. End of the world? I know, right? Sounds like something a lame high school band would think of as a song title.
Hey.
Whoever wrote this needs to come up with better story ideas, because this wasn't realistic at all. Not all stories need to be realistic, 7-Up. I mean, students causing a riot on that scale is totally impossible. I'd never believe it for a second. But I learned a valuable lesson. I should always delete embarrassing emails right away. Oh, you poor summer child. Hey, about that. Are you sure it's okay to say that it's just a made-up story? Of course. I mean, unrealistic things might happen in real life from time to time, but
Of course not.
there's no way this is real. It's more impossible than a notebook that kills people just by writing in it. That is true. I get the reference, but that doesn't make me happy. It's just a lot of unimaginable things have kept happening to us, so maybe I'm getting a little confused. But the world ending? There's no way something so unbelievable could actually happen. Well, it did. Well, at any rate, it's clear now, isn't it? What's clear? This used to be Seaking Industries, but it's not anymore.
I see.
After this island became uninhabited, Monokuma took over this place and modified it without permission. He did all this just to shock us. That's the reason? Well, I think it was actually for the purposes of building gigantic death robots.
That's right.
It's not weird. This whole time he's been doing similar stuff to us. But why? Because Monokuma is legitimately an agent of chaos and nothing more?
This is bad.
Maybe there's a bunch of crazy rich dudes who are into this stuff. They're the ones who are making us kill each other. Those people are doing bad stuff, watching kids kill each other. It's not good. I don't like it.
Hey.
Wait, hold on. No, they said it out loud. That's actually a terrible assumption.
I mean,
If that's true, then our fates are in the hands of those rich perverted guys. That sounds like something that would happen in a work of fiction. Yeah, wouldn't you know it? We happen to currently be in one. But the thought of it actually happening in reality is definitely unsettling. More than slightly. Alright, anything else to look at? Just seems to be cameras and monitors and the like. Well, there you go, I suppose. I've definitely bumped into everybody that there is to bump into. Wah!
yo.
A slight amount of warning would have been nice, my dude. Good lord, frozen yogurt man. Hey, Hajime, I was looking for you. What's up, Fuyu?
Well,
I was thinking you've probably finished exploring this island by now. You're right. I think I've explored everywhere at least once for now.
damn right.
And do you want to meet up with everyone and discuss things? Yeah, I don't mind.
Huh.
I figured it'd be annoying if we all went back to the hotel for this. But there's a street nearby lined with food vendors, so I told everybody to meet up there.
Later.
I'm heading over there right now. Hurry up and come over. After letting me know, Fuyuhiko left the area. He actually took the time to tell everyone about that, huh? Well, now's not really the time to be impressed by something like that. Well, I wouldn't say impressed, more so just grateful, I suppose. It'd be bad to make the others wait. I should hurry over to the street with the food stands. And now I curiously ponder to myself, do I run in circles long enough to placate a gorilla? I could probably do that really fast. And with the power of editing, it wouldn't even look all that weird. Yes. Yes, I dare say that's exactly what I'm going to do. Everybody's going to have to hold onto their horses. I have a gorilla to fill with hope, I guess. Just give me a moment. There we go. Also, can we just briefly point out the fact that for somebody who apparently has absolutely no ultimate level talent, I could totally buy Hajime being, in fact, the ultimate level, Olympic sprinter at this point, because that's just impressive. Yeah, okay, so I regret literally everything about this in every way. I really legitimately wish I did not actually watch that happen right now. Wow, I would have been more than happy and perfectly content to just have never actually done that. I put in a fair amount of effort into actually being shown that. I have so many regrets. That image is burnt into my brain. I made people wait for me to be able to see that. I kind of hate everything right now. Alright, well, with that image forever burned into my brain, maybe these guys can help me not to have to think about it. Alright, looks like everyone's here. What about Nagito? What about him? Who cares? It's not like he's our friend or anything. I couldn't get in touch with him. I don't know where the hell he is or what he's doing. Probably something nefarious and awful and scary if I'm being real.
Now then.
So, how'd it go? You learn anything about the Future Foundation? Not really. Like, I feel like I learned stuff, but I also feel like I didn't learn anything. It's not clear which information we found is believable, if any.
However,
I believe there is no question that the Future Foundation is behind everything that has been going on.
Well,
Are we sure about that? Huh? What are you saying? If they're not our enemy, then what are they? If they're our ally, there's no way they'd trap us on this island. Again, though, the whole enemy of thy enemy thing. I feel like that has to play a role in stuff.
well, yeah.
That's true, but there's something I've been thinking about.
Hey,
Monami works for the Future Foundation, right? She's pretty much admitted it to it by this point. And she was here when this whole thing started. And I really do feel like she was completely caught off guard by Monokuma and everything he did. Implying that maybe the Future Foundation was trying to do I don't really know what they were trying to do with that original thing, but it didn't seem to be openly malicious. But even though Monokuma's forcing us to kill each other, Monami has been opposing him. You mean pretending to oppose him, right? Honestly, I feel like it... I understand the fact that you're hesitant to believe it because she's been saying stuff in such a weird-ass way that it seems like it's almost ironically, like, facetious, all of the positive things she's trying to spout. But I think she might actually just be incredibly well-meaning and extraordinarily awful at it.
that's wrong.
No, I don't think she's pretending. They clearly hate each other. Then it's possible that the enemy of our enemy is actually an ally. Fuyuhiko, you friggin' amazing baby gangsta. He's dishing out the info that I thought. Because she opposes Monokuma, you think she's our ally?
Please wait.
Even if they both oppose one another, is it not possible that they are both our enemy? I mean, it's not infeasible.
I'm starting to get pumped up.
Akane girl, please, now is not the time for that.
hey.
Why after all this time are you suddenly backing up the Future Foundation? Don't accuse him of being the traitor.
Whoa!
Are you talking like that because you're actually the traitor that's working for them? Don't be an idiot.
I won't.
No way, you're clearly suspicious. I mean, if you don't...
Settle down.
Kazuichi Soda, shut up. Yes.
Listen,
There was never a traitor. What? Monokuma lied. I don't even know what button I pushed to make that happen. Lied?
well,
It is simply a false entity that Monokuma made up so we would be suspicious of each other.
you insolent
How-
fool.
Damn, she is laying down the law. How can you not believe in your friends after everything we have endured together? Fantastic. I was actually enjoying the respite. And yet here we are. All right, fine. I'll put effort into it if I have to. Weak. How weak. Sup, everybody, it's me, Creepy Frank. Instead of facing the problem directly and overcoming it, you're desperately trying to run away.
Such despair.
That weakness is hopeless. Nagito! Oh, great. Can I talk to everybody else first and put it off as much as I possibly can? Akane, fill me with good vibes.
Hey!
Nagito, what's he planning this time?
Well,
Very suspicious. Yo, you we sure Minimaru ain't capable of 3 thought? Sonia, help.
It cannot be.
What Nagito just said.
Please wait.
Is he implying that believing in each other is a weakness? That is absurd. It most certainly is. Wow, I never really think about how short Fuyuhiko is. Nagito's a pain in the ass, but is there anything we can do about Kazuichi's idiocy? He doubts everyone so easily and never apologizes for it. Well, I guess I'm used to it. Yeah, but he does it to everybody, and it is very annoying. Also, I could have sworn that the level cap would have ended at 50. Weird. Oh, wait, I meant to talk to Chiaki. So there you are, Nagito. We didn't invite you here, you annoying gas cap. I don't know why that was my substitute word, but it was. The timing of his arrival seems planned. It seems like he might have been watching our actions. Maybe. Well, he has gone full supervillain, so stands to reason. Nagito, where have you been this whole time? Well, I could answer that, but no.
Jeez.
I wonder where your thought process wandered off to. As usual, you guys just keep running around in circles. What are you, hamsters? Don't you dare bring up hamsters! We know they're okay, but where'd they go? Oops, if I compare you guys to hamsters, will I get yelled at by that weakling who dropped out? Nagito? I don't really have any words for you. I could try and formulate something. I could truly throw a utterly scathing rant towards your general direction, but it's all too painfully obvious that it really doesn't matter what I say. Whatever man you are, whatever events led you down the path to become the Nagito that stands before me right now, it's become all too clear to me that you're far, far too gone for anything such as words to ever truly affect you. You know how I feel. And I believe you're merely saying that to try and get a rise out of me. Perhaps that is your entire sole intention, is to rile me up, perhaps. I don't claim to understand what's going through your head, and quite frankly, I thank my lucky stars that I don't understand what's going through your mind. Because it is sick, it is twisted, and I fundamentally despise every aspect of your existence. I really wish you would just go away. We'll leave it at that.
That is...
What is that?
Now then.
You asked where I've been this whole time, right? Well, I was in the middle of looking for someone. Looking for someone? I thought that person might have already arrived, but I guess I was wrong. Or maybe that person is hiding in a secret location and carefully watching us. What are you talking about? Are you saying there's someone else on this island besides us? It's probably the survivor of the killing school life. Eh? Okay, well that would be a pretty baller plot twist, but you're gonna have to be more specific. There were 6 survivors of that.
How about it?
If so, a lot of things might start adding up, don't you think? Are you talking about Byakuya? He's the survivor you're talking about, right?
What?
No, I see. You guys have only reached that stage. What stage? You're not making sense at all. Has he ever?
not making sense.
I believe it.
Jeez.
You've lost the support of Minimaru. You are truly lost. But still, the Think about it properly, you might be able to figure it out. Why would Byakuya, a survivor of the killing school life, die in vain like he did at the very beginning? I legitimately am not 100% sure about that.
Right?
Don't you think it's strange? What does that mean?
That is an order.
The issue is not with what he means. Please take back what you said about Byakuya dying in vain. Oh, he will not do that, Sonia.
That's right.
Yeah, listen to Miss Sonia.
Well,
You have been acting very strange lately. I do not like this version of Nagito we have been witness to. Not that the original version was all that great either, but by God, I never thought I'd actually see the day where that version was preferable. I don't like you either. Well, I never liked you in the first place. Akane and me! I wish I could double high-five her right now.
This is true.
Aw, it looks like I'm being hated. Well, that's understandable. There's no way you guys can even comprehend my suffering. Are you about to argue that your pain might actually possibly be worse than anybody else's? If so, that's an entirely new level of deranged. Knowing the truth can be pretty painful in its own way. The truth? What truth? What do you know? Curious, are you? But why don't I tell you guys that after we found out who the traitor is? Still spewing out that nonsense, huh?
Actually,
Tell you the truth, I still haven't figured out who the traitor is. But it won't take me very long. You guys don't have to worry. I'll weed out the traitor even if it costs me my life. I'm not sure if it makes me a bad person that a small part of me actually hopes that it does. But even then, ultimately, that would imply that the implication would be that you would try to attack or, I don't know, coerce the traitor out of hiding in a way that would get you killed, which would ultimately put us into a class trial situation, and if it's any of the people that I'm hanging out with right now, I don't want that to happen. If there is a traitor amongst us, I don't think that they're actually a bad person. Certainly nowhere close to as anywhere nearly as bad as anything you've done or said up to this point. So you know what? No. I don't want that. So get your creepy face out of here already.
what?
You're gonna weed out the traitor?
please wait.
As I've already said, there is no traitor. Yeah, I'll bet in the end you're just gonna raise your hand and go, I'm actually the traitor, right? You're a funny guy, Kazuichi. But why don't I tell you guys that after we found out who the traitor is? If I'm able to wipe out all the despair on this island, will I?
This is
Will I become the ultimate hope? Nope, that's already been occupied. You'll just be a pretender. Ultimate hope? The hell are you talking about? Have you finally lost whatever is left of your mind?
Now then.
I should get going. But if you see Monokuma again, there's something I want you to tell him. Tell him he doesn't need to provide a motive anymore. Tell him not to worry, because I'm planning to go all out. Besides, the next one will probably be the last. Look, either you end up getting killed by the traitor or the traitor ends up killing you. Either way, I don't really want I don't want the traitor to get hurt. So maybe, no. Why don't we just knock him unconscious and tie him back up? That'd solve a lot of problems, wouldn't it?
Could it be?
Nagito, what does that mean?
Bye now.
Bye. And none of us stopped him. Nagito ignored Chiaki's question and left us. We were powerless to stop him. It was clear to us that trying to stop him would just be useless.
Hey.
I don't want to think about it, but could he be planning a kill?
Are you
A kill? Who? Who's he gonna kill? Apparently, whoever the quote-unquote traitor is.
Damn it.
Based on how he was talking, it looks like his target is the traitor. There is no such person. And if that's true, that might mean he just might come to the wrong conclusion and kill somebody randomly just for the sake of it. Under the assumption that they're a traitor. That'd be even worse. I mean, the notion that one of us has been deceiving us all along? I will never ever believe that. Yeah, I'm not of the camp of believing it either. Like Sonia said, I can't believe it either. I don't think any of us could do that. And I like these guys. Even Soda, I don't want to have anything bad happen to him. Soda, Chiaki, Fuyuhiko, Sonia, and Akane, they're all too good. I believe they're all good people, damn it. What if it's Nagito? Or what if whoever it is, has forgotten about it? I mean, I suppose that's feasible, but what good is a traitor if they don't know that they are one? How would they be able to do anything negative if they didn't even know they were supposed to? What if the traitor has forgotten that they're the traitor? Just like how I forgot that I don't have a talent. Well, regardless of who he's targeting, there's a high chance that he's planning to kill, right?
That's right.
Then we gotta tie him up again. Forcing him to stop is the only way.
Oh.
It's impossible. Nekomaru's not even here anymore. No, but we have Akane. You trying to tell me she couldn't knock him out? Seriously, one punch would knock him like at least 20 feet back.
I'll show you my serious side.
See, there you go. I've got what it takes to deal with someone as weak as him.
I'm here too.
You're here in spirit. Then that's a yes, right? Just leave it to me. Once I come up with a plan, we'll meet up again. Tie up Nagito, huh? Kazuichi is right. It's dangerous to let Nagito wander freely. If we're being cautious, we have to act fast. Or at the very bare minimum, we all need to stick together like 24/7. What is this indescribable anxiousness I'm feeling? Probably the feelings of inevitability. I hope it just means I'm thinking too much. That would certainly be nice. For the time being, we decided to finish our exploration on the final island and return to the hotel.